Once upon a time, in the middle of winter, when snowflakes fell like feathers from the sky, a queen sat sewing at her window, which had a frame of black ebony wood. As she sewed, she pricked her finger with the needle, and 3 drops of blood fell upon the snow. The red looked so beautiful on the white snow that she thought, "If only I had a child as white as snow, as red as blood, and as black as the wood of the window frame." Soon after, the queen gave birth to a little girl who was indeed as white as snow, with lips as red as blood and hair as black as ebony. She named her Snow White. Unfortunately, the queen died shortly after giving birth. The king, heartbroken, remarried a woman who was beautiful but proud and wicked. She had a magic mirror that she consulted daily. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest of all." But as Snow White grew older, she became more and more beautiful, and one day, when the queen asked her mirror the same question, it replied, "Queen, you are full fair. This true, but Snow White is fairer than you." The queen, green with envy and rage, summoned a huntsman and ordered him to take Snow White into the forest to be killed. "Bring me her heart as proof," she demanded. The huntsman took Snow White into the forest but could not bring himself to kill her. Instead, he let her go and brought back a boar's heart to deceive the queen. Alone and scared, Snow White wandered through the forest until she came upon a small cottage. Inside, she found 7 tiny beds. When the 7 dwarfs who lived in the cottage returned home, they were surprised to find Snow White there. She awoke and told them her sad story. The kind dwarfs took pity on her and invited her to stay, warning her to be wary of her stepmother. Meanwhile, the queen asked her mirror once again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "Queen, you are fair, but Snow White, beyond the mountains with the 7 dwarfs, is 1,000 times fairer than you." Furious, the queen disguised herself as an old peddler woman and went to the dwarf's cottage. She offered Snow White a lace bodice and laced it so tightly that Snow White fainted. The dwarfs returned just in time to loosen the bodice and revive her. The queen tried again, this time with a poisoned comb. Snow White fell unconscious, but the dwarfs removed the comb and saved her once more. On her 3rd attempt, the queen gave Snow White a poisoned apple. Snow White took a bite and fell into a death-like sleep. The dwarfs, unable to revive her, placed her in a glass coffin. Time passed, and one day a prince traveling through the forest saw Snow White in her glass coffin. Enchanted by her beauty, he begged the dwarfs to let him take her to his castle. As his servants carried the coffin, they stumbled, dislodging the piece of poisoned apple from Snow White's throat. She awoke, and the prince declared his love for her. They returned to his kingdom and prepared for their wedding. But the wicked queen, upon learning of this through her mirror, was so enraged that she went to the wedding to see for herself. When she arrived, she was forced to put on red-hot iron shoes and dance until she fell down dead. Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after. This is Tales from Forever. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more magical stories.